go ahead and finish up. And what you're seeing right now when I'm presenting this screen is the teacher dashboard.
Somebody asked if it's better for asynchronous learning. One thing that I really learned, like when we were creating this last week, like Jessica's using it for almost like a Google Slide or a Nearpod type activity, and I never really thought about that. I always just had activities in it, but you'll see later on that we can put slides in there, and then we'll show you some pacing things.
Okay, so right now I paused all of you. So this is, like I said, the teacher dashboard. What I really love about it is that you can see where students are throughout the slides. You can pause or start. So like I pause, I can see the time that you entered by where you are here. I see all of your names. The dots just mean that you have completed it, but on slide 5, there was a correct order. So the check marks let me know that you got it right or wrong. One other thing that I really like is that when I said, tell us a little bit more, I got a quick, with those check marks, a quick understanding of where everyone was. So I could see how many people were in each of these. I could see how many of you guys were, your stress levels, and I could see that there. With the text features one, I really like this one because I can individually see all of what you circled or highlighted or did, but then I can also overlay it. So I could present this screen to the whole class and talk about text features and what we're all seeing. And maybe this hyper-realistic person circled this and I wanted to talk about that to the whole class. So I really like the quick ability to allow you to work at your own pace and then come back and have a conversation about what we're seeing and what we're doing. So we wanted to just hook you with Desmos to give you a little bit of a background information on what this can do and all of the things with it. And then we're going to show you a little bit more about what it can look like from the teacher's perspective and what it can look like from the student perspective. So, like I was saying, the teacher dashboard is really the home base for you. Now, I do need to make something clear right now. If you want to use Desmos as an activity builder, which is what we're doing now, you need to make sure to go to teacher.desmos.com. If you were to just type in desmos.com, that would take you to the graphing calculator, which is great and fine, but that's not what you're looking for. So you want to go to teacher.desmos.com, and that's going to be how you can create activities for your students for any content level. So at the teacher dashboard, if you notice at the top, there's buttons where you can see a snapshot, you can see a summary, you can see each student view, or you can see the teacher view. When I'm in that summary, like I was on this, this select the response, I can see what everyone's doing by the dots, the dashes. So the dashes let me know that these people have moved on, but they haven't necessarily done anything on that page. The dot means some human interaction is going to be required. There wasn't like a correct answer to grade it. And then the check mark lets me know that you did it correctly. The really cool thing I like about the new, like Desmos has been adding all these features to it. It now allows you to add a co-teacher. So Denise is actually a co-teacher on this with me. So as you guys are doing this, she can see what you are doing as well. I know that we've been using like Pear Deck, which is really awesome, but the thing that gets frustrating about it is that it's only one teacher right now. So adding a co-teacher allows Denise to see the responses, to be able to help me have some conversation about that, and is just a really easy, great way to incorporate all those other teachers in your classroom. As you are thinking about wanting to do some of this, we did link in the agenda how to do all of this. So if you look over here, this Teaching with Desmos has all the links. So getting started with Desmos activities, how to actually start one. We'll go through a little bit of how to start building one. How I was pausing and pacing and anonymizing the session. If you notice here, I can pause you guys because some of you are going ahead and looking at all my screens. So I can pause you from going ahead. And then I can, like I did before, just pace you to a certain screen. So if I want everyone to go to this adding a co-teacher screen, I can move you all to that screen. I can add a section of a screen. So I really like that. And then I do like anonymizing student work. You'll see in a minute when I show student work, it's a great way to not make people feel, or your students feel uncomfortable. The anonymous names are all famous mathematicians, which is really awesome. So there is more there on pausing, pacing, more on the icons that we talked about. You can hide and unhide a student if you're interested in that. And the next thing I want to show you is how to do written feedback. So a new feature with Desmos, because we have a need for providing feedback asynchronously, is they have added a written feature feedback part, but it is still in beta testing. So you're going to have to add it into your Desmos activity builder. So before we keep going, and because I'm like talking at 1,000,000 miles an hour, I am going to show you how to even just start setting up an activity and how to add in that written feedback part. Okay, so let me open up a new tab. So you're going to type in teacher.desmos.com, and it will take you to this landing page. So you're going to have to create an account. I would just create your account with Google. You're going to sign in, and they're going to show you all these activities. Now, like I said, Desmos really is meant for mathematics, and they've built and designed all their lessons around that. But we are just using this awesome tool that is completely free to meet the needs of our other content levels as well. If you go to your name once you signed in, there is a drop down that says Desmos Labs. If you want to be able to do written feedback, you've got to click on this Desmos Labs and check on, it's like 3 down, this written feedback. It's still in beta testing, so they didn't roll it out to everyone, but if you would like to try it out, it's still got a couple kinks here and there, but they're working on making it a permanent part of their features. So you can click and add it there. So again, I am in teacher.desmos.com. And you can go then on the left-hand side, it says custom. This is where we're going to build our own activity. You're just going to click new activity. And this is going to bring you to the landing page where you can create and design all of your slides like we are in this session. So this is where you can get a multiple choice question, you can get checkboxes, you can pull in. I just took screenshots of a Google slide deck and put them in here so that we could have like a slide presentation in Desmos. There's all sorts of options, and we're going to show you some more here in a second. All right, but before I dive any more into that, I have another activity for you guys. So I'm going to pace you, and I would like you to complete these 3 screens. I'm going to give you about 4 minutes to do that. I did see someone write, would this be a good option for CFAs? And Desmos has a whole webinar that they've recorded. I think it's like an hour long, but you can fast forward or do whatever through it. And it is linked here. It says using Desmos with assessments. So you can watch that webinar recording on how they use Desmos with assessments. And if you are on the card sort, if you move, there are two categories, things I like or things I wouldn't rather be doing. If you move those cards on top of each other, they'll click together. And I'm going to give you one more minute. I think most of us are on the last slide. All right, I am going to pause you. And so thinking about the upcoming year and thinking about trying to create students who communicate with one another and creating a classroom culture, I really love that Desmos allows for the ability for students to see each other's responses and have conversation about that. So in the hot dog question, you guys were able to see other classmates' responses and then form your own I notice and I wonder statements. And I think this would be a great activity to just have your students start the communication process with each other, to try to model what they could say to give good feedback or to think further about something. What I love about Desmos is as you guys were working, I was going through the answers and I can pull out answers that I want to talk about and present them to the class. So I saw two people that I really liked I wanted to talk about, and so I hit the camera button and it saved them for me. So now when I'm ready to present, I can click snapshots and present to you what I see. So I said, I really like this one. It's pretty evenly split. That's so interesting. I wonder if experience changes how people think about hot dogs. Maybe. And I noticed people defend that hot dog is not a sandwich because it's technically not two pieces of bread. I wonder if they think a Philly cheesesteak and a hoagie bun is a sandwich. Those are great things to think about. And I love that I could screenshot that as I was reading them and quickly find them to share with you guys. Then for the card sort, I really love card sorts. I think that they are awesome. We've got a lot of card sorts already built into our curriculum. And so Desmos is a great way to make them virtual. All you need for a card sort is 16 pictures, and then you can make them, I think you can have as many pictures as you want, not 16. You can make as many as you want. That's for the polygraph. So right here, it's gray because there isn't like a right or wrong. I can see an overview. The most common groups is people put these two pictures together. I'm imagining that was the I don't really want to do those right now pictures. I would not want to do the skydiving, but I could do some skiing right now. That would be kind of fun in this heat. I need a break from that. But I can see how everyone is grouping them, which is really a fun feature of Desmos.
Jessica, show them one that has the cards stacked on top of each other. You see how they're stacked there? See how they're connected?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I really like that. This does take a minute of pre-teaching with your students just to show them how to connect the cards. But once they've got it, it's a really easy thing to do.
And did you show them the pacing? Because people keep asking what slide they're supposed to stop on.
Okay, so for the pacing, I have determined where you start and stop. So if you look at my screen here, I can choose that I want you to start here and go to here. And I can restrict your screens only to that. So that's with this pacing button over here. So right now, I'm going to pace you all to just this screen and restrict for this. And I want you to answer this question. When during a lesson might you launch a card sort? How might your students use the information gained from your students' card sort? And why might a card sort be beneficial to students and teachers? So the when, the how, and the why. If you look at this picture, this is if you were to make a card sort with a right and wrong answer. So you'll be able to easily see if they correctly match the card or not. I'm seeing a lot of great places and ways that you guys are thinking about using card sorts. This is awesome. Okay, for the purpose of this class, and we're running really fast here, I do want to talk really quick about a little bit more about building with Desmos. There is this, let me restrict your screen. I know I just paused y'all. Let me paste you to this screen just so we're all looking at the same thing. There are card sorts created already. So here is an awesome resource with a bunch of card sorts already created that you can definitely take a look at. One thing I do want to mention is that if you are looking for something that's already created in Desmos, my recommendation would be to Google what you're looking for rather than using the Desmos search bar. So what I mean by that is if you were to go to teacher.desmos.com, there's a little search bar there, and you can search for activities in Desmos, which is great. But Desmos has a really strict vetting process, so it doesn't let everyone's resources be easily found in their site. But what you can do is if I wanted to do a card sort on physical properties, I could go to Google and Google Desmos card sort physical properties, and you're going to see a lot more pop up there than you would in the Desmos search bar. Does that make sense? Okay. Excuse me. So now that you've seen some card sorts, and all of these resources again are posted in that agenda, I do want to talk about, on the next slide, there is a step-by-step instruction guide on how to create card sorts. So Denise, will you put that in the chat?
Do what now? Sorry, I was reading some of the other responses.
Oh wait, I got it.
You got, oh, the Google? Okay.
Yeah. The link that I just put in the chat is that step-by-step instruction guide on how to create your own card sort. And we only have 20 minutes, and I have something else to show you. So we're going to move on to the next activity because I love this one, and you guys are just, oh, it's my favorite. Do you remember that game, Guess Who, where you would have like the blue and the red card, or like game board, and then there's little people's faces on it, and then you pull down the ones that aren't it, and you ask questions of one another? Desmos created it virtually for us. So if you would go to student.desmos.com, so we're going to open up a new one and type in this code, we are going to do a polygraph. So I see 8 of us have already gotten in. The very first question is going to be a practice round. So if you want to see the practice round and experience what kind of questions, yes or no questions you're going to ask, you can go ahead and do that, or you can jump straight and say skip this round and just go ahead and start playing.
So Jessica, if a student starts another activity like they leave Desmos, Can they come back and finish the Desmos? They can.
Yes. Yes, as long as they have signed in. So that is definitely something you're going to want to make sure to tell your students. They need to sign in so that, one, you can see their full name, and two, so that they can save their responses. It won't save their information to Google Drive, but it will save it within Desmos as long as they're signed in.
Amber, I'm not sure what your question is. Can all these be directly linked into chat?
Yes. So like if I want you right now to go to this polygraph, what I can do is right now I can put this in the chat.
I
will put it right in the chat right now, and then you can directly go there.
The activities. Okay. I get it.
So what's happening is once you guys are in, it's going to partner you with people randomly in your class. And then you'll start playing each other. So if you see here, I can see that 104 students are in. I can see who's partnered together. And as you begin to ask each other questions, I can see that Robinson and Ariano, something went wrong. Someone got it wrong. So then you're going to start and play again. And I can see the questions. Being able to see the student questions is great for not only classroom management, but for highlighting students who are communicating well, who have great questions. So modeling that communication piece for them. I would always incentivize it and say who can guess it correctly with the fewest amount of questions for my older students. But for like the 3rd and 4th grade students, the first couple of times you do this, you are going to have to model for them what this looks like. Like you might have to do a whole class example with them just so that they can get the hang of what this looks like. Because the yes, no, like if you say yes, that means I cross out these people. And if you say no, that means I cross out these people. It is a critical thinking skill that our students have to develop.
But I've done it with 3rd and 4th graders before. And I mean, start with something that's really simple for them and that's like not threatening. And then add those. But it's a great way to build those questioning skills. Like
and vocabulary.
Yes.
Yeah. So with vocabulary, I always like to go through and look at students who use great vocabulary, and I'll highlight them and give them a big shout out, which is really awesome. I do like in this also that I can still pause the class and ask you guys to all come back together with me, or I can anonymize it. At the end of it, there's always 2 questions. When you build your own, you can determine those questions, or you can just use the ones that they have in there.
I was in the middle of the game. It was really good, and now all of a sudden.
And now you got paused. And that is the feeling that I love to hear, is when I make my teachers have to, they're so excited and then I make them stop. So that is the feeling that our students get. They love playing the polygraphs, and so it's really great. A great way to have those communication opportunities for your students. Okay, I am going to pause this again. I'm sorry, friends. We are going to go back because we've got like 15 or so minutes, and I want to make sure that we go through how to build this a little bit more and look at some of the other features that it has. But really quick, just so I can get a read of the room on what else to cover, can you go back to that Desmos for any subject? And on slide 18, I would love for you to answer this reflection question. And right now you're, if I share this tab, all the responses that I see, you guys are with the anonymize button, but I can click to unanonymize you, to make it your real names, so I can see what everyone is responding. Okay, I see a lot of us. There's a couple of questions, and a lot of people are looking at the polygraph and the card sort, and a couple people have another idea. For that polygraph, this is the one that you do need 16 images exactly. But when you create the polygraph, you can just take screenshots of whatever images you want. So that is really helpful. So let me go through a little bit more about what it looks like to create these activities. So again, you go to teacher.desmos.com. Then you're going to go to, let's see if I can go through this one more time. My computer is a little slow. Sorry, team. All right, teacher.desmos.com. On the left-hand side, it says custom. And then I'm going to do new activity. If you wanted to do a polygraph, you're going to hit new polygraph. So that is the only one you can't do multiple things of. So if you wanted to do a polygraph, you would click it there. Otherwise, you click new activity. With the new activity, you can pull different things in. So down at the bottom is the card sort. So you can click and add a card sort. And then you can pull in different images that you would want in here. So you can do images, or you can just do text there. Then you can do multiple choice questions. You can do media. So someone was asking earlier if you could do audio. You can pull in an audio file here if you wanted it to read something to them, or if you wanted to have a video playing. This is an option for that. Or you can add just a text so that they have to write something to you there. So lots and lots of options here that you can add. One that Patrick really wanted us to for science is tables, because our students do a lot of tables or filling it in. So this is a great option for you to have a table that you can easily see all of your students' tables. And then I wanted to show one more cool thing. Desmos allows you to copy and paste activities from them into your own. So I'm going to show you how to do that quick, because Desmos has been working hard on creating like get to know you activities, like the hot dog one that we had. And so those are all available for you to access for free. So I'm going to share this tab with you. If you want to copy and paste activities, you're just going to open another teacher.desmos.com. And if you see here, they've got starter screens. They've got this getting to know each other. So I'm going to go under here, and I want to include another introduce yourself. So I'm going to click on this screen, and do you see these two boxes here? If I click on that, it copies the screen, and then I can paste it just by doing Command V, just like you would paste it in another like another document, and it'll paste it in there for you. So you can copy and paste screens from any of the pre-created activities, which is really fun.
So the question is, can we import material from our Google Drive? That's where you would import from the media, correct?
Yes. So you would hit media here, and then you can choose a file to upload, or you can click and drag it into here.
And it also depends on what you're importing. I don't know, like if you pulled in a Google slide, what that would look like. It may just take you, I don't know. I mean,
so if you wanted to do like a Google slide, I'm imagining like what we did for ours is we just took a screenshot or downloaded it as an image, and that was the easiest, quickest way for us to do it. I don't know what would happen if you tried to import the whole file. I don't think it would like it very much.
Yeah.
I have a question. You know how you had that article and we had to circle or whatever? You use the sketch feature, and then that is a PDF that you just dragged in there?
Yes. So if you see on my screen, I did the sketch, and then the background, I hit custom image.
Okay.
And that custom image, I just took a picture of a Newsella article. Awesome question. And that really is all of the things, but I want to show you, Denise has worked really hard over this past year. She's like so much more organized than I am. And she has created a custom collection of elementary activities. And so it is, collections are like Desmos's way of creating folders. So this last slide here is a collection of elementary activities that Denise has collected over the past year.
So these are just some that I pulled for you guys. I have a lot more math because it originally was more math-based, but I'm starting to see a lot more in other subjects. So I tried to get a little collection of various activities for you. To add to a collection, you can just go, if you're on your main teacher page and you open up an activity, in the top right-hand corner, there's a little plus sign, and you can create collection. And the collection is really just a folder full of different activities that you have.
So even when I'm like scrolling here, I can click this plus sign and add it to, if I wanted to create this under I have some collections already created, I can put it under my student voice one, or I could create a new collection here.
And then you're just going to see that on the left or to the top. Like once you add it, you're going to see a place that says collections under your activities there.
Yeah, right.
And that's how you get to them.
Yeah.
So the link to the collections, oh, did you already put those there? Are there?
Yeah. And Battle Boats is just like Battleship. Yes, it's super fun. It's a great way to talk about the coordinate plane. Mostly 5th grade.
Yeah.
That I think that would work for.
And the marble slides is so much fun, y'all. The kids will love it. It's coordinates as well. A lot of fun because they've got to know the coordinates, but it's getting the marbles in there. So it's more like a game. And then there's one that Mr. Gomez made that I think I put in there as well. He has a picture. He really personalized it. He has a picture in the background of his students, and then he put a table and like, okay, where's her nose? You know, so it's a lot of fun, and it really makes it personal for the kids.
Yes. So we've got about 7 minutes left. What we wanted to do with this time is really just let you explore and play and ask us questions. We love this tool. It is awesome. And it can be, we're just excited for the possibilities that you guys come up with. Now that Desmos has become a lot easier to edit and create and design, that tinyurl.com/Desmos For All will take you back to that agenda. Desmos does have a Facebook group if you want to join that. It's mostly math teachers on there right now, but there are lots of ideas on there every single day if you want to get connected. And then there's also a ton of webinars that they offer. And if you are like a webinar just doesn't work for you, you can reach out to your instructional technology coach and they'd be happy to help you as well. So the agenda includes the links for the Desmos activities that we did. So you can go ahead and actually take that activity and put it in a collection for yourself. I think it's in your collection too, Denise, isn't it? Did we add it to your collection?
Which one?
The activity we did today.
Yes, I think so.
And so you can make a copy of an activity, so you can take the pieces of it that you liked out.
Let me make sure.
And the agenda is tinyurl.com/Desmos For All. So.
Oh, actually, no, I didn't put it in there.
Oh, will you add it in there?
I will.
Thank you. It might be because I don't know what happened.
Oh, no, I did. Welcome to Desmos for Any Subject. I did.
Okay, perfect. Okay, ask your questions. If you want to, you feel free to unmute. Like, we're here for you guys.
And my collection, too, is on the agenda that we shared at the beginning. At the very bottom under the resources, it says collection for examples for elementary. And I put the link in there as well.
I was saying, I think I'm just going to have to, I guess, get in here and try to figure it out, because this is really good. Really, really good. I see so many ways I can use it with reading and writing. but I'm just trying to figure out, like, on the tiny URL that you sent,
Mhm.
trying to find it again so I can figure out how to save it.
Did you have the agenda?
I did.
You get it? Okay, yes. Under Building with Desmos,
Mhm.
those are all the resources for how do you create them. So there's
Okay.
links on how to copy and edit entire activities, copying and pasting those screens, those Desmos starter screens to just get you going.
So will we be able to, would this be something that we could put a link into, like one of the virtual teacher classrooms?
Yeah, so like your Google Classroom, you can take and put this link in there.
Okay.
I guess we didn't talk about that a whole lot, but when you create an activity, you then create a class code. So with my activities, I have this welcome for Desmos for any subject. If I want my students, let me present my screen. So when you want to go give this to your students, you're going to create a class code. And after you create the class code, you'll click View Dashboard. And that's what's going to give you that starter screen that gives you the code students can type in. But it'll also give you this link. If it was me, I would just share this link with my students in Google Classroom.
Okay.
Or if you are doing it in person or on a Google Meet synchronously with them, I would just post the link into my Google Meet and say, hey, kids, join me here.
Love it. Love it. Thank y'all. This was so helpful. This was a very useful session for me.
I'm glad you liked it.
And talk to your instructional technology coach. They can sit with you and help you go through the nuts and bolts of it if you need to.
Okay.
We'd be happy to, or call one of us. We'll be happy to do that.
Yeah.
That works. Thanks so much. Thanks so much.
You're welcome.